My name is Ken Paxton. I'm the Texas Attorney General, and my job is to represent the people of Texas and represent the state of Texas, whether it's the governor, the legislature, agencies, or just the state in general. You might wonder why we've been involved in so many lawsuits over the last several years. With the Obama administration, we sued them 27 times in 27 months, and now we've sued the Biden administration 11 times in 7 months. And the reason this is so important is not so much even about the individual issues. For instance, we've sued them over immigration. We've sued them over the Keystone Pipeline. But why does that matter? It matters because even the president is subject to the Constitution and laws. And right now, there are federal laws on the books as it relates to immigration and other things that the president is not following. His constitutional role is not to change the law or to ignore the law, as he is doing often. It is to follow the laws that are put in place by our elected representatives, Congress. If the president fails to do that, he has to be held accountable just like you and I would be. And so that's why Texas sued Obama 27 times. That's why we sued the Biden administration 11 times. It's all about the rule of law and making sure that the president of the United States follows the laws on the books as it relates to all kinds of things. And so I'll give you an example. We sued the president over deportation. He came out day one of his administration and said, we're not going to deport illegal immigrants during the first 100 days of my administration. Well, that's not what's in federal law. His job under federal law is to deport people who are here illegally. He also is ignoring the laws that require that he deport people that are released from prison in Texas and other states. He's not doing that. He's also not following the COVID requirements that are in federal law. And so people are coming across our border, and they're coming across with all kinds of different diseases, and they're coming across with COVID. They're spreading it not just in Texas, but they are spreading it all over the United States because these people go to other places. So we have sued the Biden administration. We were actually successful in our first lawsuit, and we will continue to sue the Biden administration because guess what? The Constitution of this country really matters. And if we let the President of the United States change the very laws that are on the books that are put there by our elected representatives, the states lose power, Congress lose power, the courts lose power, and we don't have the representative democracy that our founders so believed in, which had checks and balances that gave the president specific authority and gave these other branches of government and withheld the rest of these rights and responsibilities for the states. And so the reason that we want to make sure that the president follows those laws is because it matters that your vote counts. If we don't do that, your vote doesn't matter, and there's no reason for you to go vote. So we're going to continue to enforce those laws. We're going to continue to try to make sure that all of our elected representatives and that our president follows the very laws that are put in place for all of us to follow. Remember, the Declaration of Independence was put there to tell the people of this country that those rights were not granted by the government, but they are individual rights that were given to us by our Creator. And so President Biden can't change those rights. The state of Texas can't change those rights. We are all given those rights by our Creator. And so we have a right to have those rights enforced and protected. And that's what my job is as the Attorney General for the state of Texas.